Hello everyone, this is Curing Depression Without Drugs Part 2. If you've not seen Part 1 yet, I highly recommend you go there first, or you'll just think from this video I'm an opinionated asshole. I've suffered from depression from before, and social anxiety and delusional paranoia, so if you want to understand this fully, please go to Part 1. Acceptance, being offended, and ill words about you, or bad words about you. Now I'm going to have to translate this from Shetland dialect, so you'll have to bear with me, because I might have to change some of the grammar, the words. Okay, learning that nobody needs to accept you, and yeah, nobody needs to accept you. It's called freedom of speech and free will. Who am I? Who are you, or who is somebody else to try and strip away freedom of speech and free will? You want to live in democracy, but you don't want to be offended again. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. I'm hoping by this video to make you a stronger individual. If you've spoken to a person with kind, and we'll go also back, if you've spoken to a person with kind words and they're just being an asshole, leave it. They're ignorant, they're stupid. Simple as. There's 7 billion people in the world. Like, I've travelled around a lot and I've met amazing, kind people with such brilliant ideas, and I've met ignorant assholes. You just have to leave them. Like, if they want to be ignorant and stupid, because I can tell you this, from past experience from when I was young, people who have been assholes have always come off worst. And I can assure you about this. This has always happened. Assholes have always come off worst. And if you're generally kind to others and others pick up on it, you will meet lots of people, and especially if you travel like I've done, you will meet amazing people with such brilliant ideas, such progressive ideas, and generally you'll live a good life because you're always being kind to others. And assholes, they'll always stick with their small little asshole groups, and they'll always be ignorant and they'll always be foolish. Sometimes later, assholes realize that they've been assholes and they become good people. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you'll make a lot more friends through your life if you're genuinely kind to everybody. And by that, by being truthful, helpful, and of course end up being kind, or it's just kind in general. So that covers this area. And I hope that you can understand through this what I've said. Because some people think, oh, but everybody should be kind. Yeah, they should be, but this is not the case. I'm hoping that through these videos I can make strong individuals, like how I've gone through. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is not the way to go through, but I cured my depression, social anxiety, my delusional paranoia by following this way. A lot of the time I had to find out for myself how to do things. And I'm hoping from my experiences that this really does help you. So, this subject is about not giving a fuck and being yourself. Or about doing something crazy and funny that you've always wanted to do because it will make people laugh, but you're scared that somebody might slag you off for doing it. Fuck them. Doesn't matter. As long as you're not harming anybody. A good example is something I did. And here's a photo of it. So, dressed up like that to show people that I don't give a fuck. And also to make people laugh. Also, before this photo, I dressed up like this before to break my social anxiety mold. One of the things that I do, I did, and still do, is to do things that's out of my norm. So I do things that's out of my norm. It gradually builds self-confidence and makes my social anxiety less. Forcing myself to speak to new people at the time. Now I can just speak to anybody. But at the time when I had social anxiety, I had to force myself to speak to people, and eventually, with over time, I got better. Now, back to the subject about this style that I was wearing in this photo. This was in Inverness, and this was This was the last challenge for me in when it came to self-confidence and not giving a fuck. Me and Caroline in that photo, my friend from Inverness, we walked from her house right into the centre with tons of cars passing by, and some of them actually beeped. And what me and Caroline did for a laugh was counted the amount of beeps that I got. I think it was 21 beeps or something. And even then, me and Caroline walked into this health centre, and there was other people sitting in the waiting room, and for a while it was just me sitting there. And then eventually the question cropped up, why was I dressing up like this, and which I'll answer to you now. I dressed up like that first break my mold, and also to show others self-confidence that you can have. Also to help my LGBT friends from Russia, I sent them photos of this and told them what I did, to show them to be stronger and to just be themselves. That's the main point I'm getting into this. And also, the main point as well, just not to give a fuck, just do what you want. As long as it's not harming anybody else, just do what you want, be kind, be funny, and just be yourself. Also, I'll add into that, the other reason why I dressed up like that was because I wanted to learn about the culture and different cultures, and I love to learn from other people. So it was good to learn about their culture, what they do, how they meet up, and if you would like to hear about that, I'm willing to make another video if you want to ask. I'll not be meeting up with the Highland Lolitas or the Scottish ones for a good while because I'm going to be living in Denmark now, but hopefully I'll visit them, and Caroline still has my outfit at the house, so I'll probably meet them and learn more from them. Okay, this one is about social media or Facebook or many of these things. This one's a bit of a touchy subject. I am just going to recommend that you don't do some of these things on this list, but as I always say, it's your free will. You can do it, but I don't recommend it. And these are posts such as I will delete people, or it's time to have us clear out from the trash of people that don't agree with me or don't like me, etc. I've done one similar to this. I'm just reading from a sheet of paper, just taking basic notes of things that I've posted in the past from 2012. A very dark time for me when I was at the height of my depression, social anxiety, and the delusional paranoia, blackouts and everything. And I'm going to list off a few more, and I'm going to recommend why you shouldn't do this, but it's your own free will, you can do as you please. But I'm going to recommend you don't do this. Other ones is, I'm better off without this person or this thing or this place. Not a good thing to do. When you post about these, I'm better off without my ex, I've moved on. We don't recommend doing that either. Because one, clearly you've not moved on, because you're still having to think and post about it. For example, nowadays I wouldn't even dream or even think about posting one of my exes or about past events, because I've sorted out my issues. I've sorted out breakups in the past and all these different things, so what's the point? I don't need to post about these things. The reason I would recommend not posting statuses such as these, because if you thought you were getting avoided before, you're about to get avoided a hell of a lot more, and you'll have people speaking behind your back, and essentially you've created even more drama. And creating drama when you have depression and social anxiety is a bad thing, and creating drama in general is not a great thing. I try to generally avoid drama if possible. I don't create any drama anymore because I realised it just destroys you from the inside out, and then you have more shit to deal with. And I can think of much better ways, or much better things to do in my time than to create drama. Like think of new ideas, how I could make things better for me and for others, and how to create new projects and life goals. And that's basically what I do. I have my own agenda that I do, and sometimes I add people into my agendas if it's going to help them. And this is right now is one of my agendas to help you. So I'm hoping that that from this that you don't repeat the same mistakes that I did in the past. Of course, it's of your free will. You can continue to post these if you want, but I don't recommend it, or you'll end up in the same state that I was in. So this is the end of part 2. Part 3 will be coming up, and part 3 is about a single subject, and it's a pretty big one. It's loss of a loved one. Because so far all I've been dealing with is about assholes and bullies, but that's particularly good for young people. But as we get older, then we start to lose loved ones, and I think this is a good one to cover. And I have a way that I think about lost and loved ones that generally doesn't make me sad. That might sound like an asshole, but when I show you it in the next video, you'll see that it is not. I really hope that this video helps you. If you have any comments, then please do give them. It's always good to get feedback so I can improve these videos.